Hey, what's going on, guys? Russell Muscle here, back again with another video. This is part 4. That means the final part in our series of me explaining how I started my personal training business. This part is all about the certification process and how I was able to get the CSEP-CPT, that's the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology, Certified Personal Training. So in this video, you can find that we'll be talking about the testing process to get the certification, the scope of practice you have to work with, as well as why it's the best certification for personal training that you can get in Canada. This was a really fun series of videos to make, and it really sums up how I started my personal training business all throughout the summer, all throughout COVID-19. If you want to check out all the videos, they will be in the link below. Part 1 was all about building the gym in 30 days in my garage. Part 2 was being able to afford the gym and how I went about doing all the financing. Part 3 was building the business on the website, the social media, and getting it out there for the world to see. And finally, this is part 4, talking about all the certifications. So all the links to other videos will be in the description. I highly suggest checking them out if you're interested in starting your own personal training business. And as always, before we start this video, if you could give this a like, a thumbs up, that would be awesome. It helps this video get out there to more people. 1 like equals 1 push-up. Every comment equals 1 pull-up. So like the video for a push-up and comment for a pull-up that I have to do. Now let's get into the certification process. So CSEP, or the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology, is a national voluntary organization composed of professionals interested and involved in the scientific study of exercise physiology, exercise biochemistry, fitness, and health. And yes, I got that directly from their website, so I wanted to make sure I got the direct meaning of what they're all about, because they are the top when it comes to personal training in Canada. Now, this doesn't compare at all to the low tier, like weekend style course that you get when it comes to like CamFit Pros and things like that. This is on a different level as that. This is the gold standard in Canada. This is because CSEP, they set the highest standards for exercise professionals in the country. They use evidence-based practices. They use science to back the type of training that they're going to use. However, with this gold standard comes a long 5-step process of getting the certification. Step 1 is getting ready. So there's 3 certification requirements that you need to even be able to apply to get this CSEP-CPT. This means you need at least 60 hours of academic credits throughout your university or college experience. So you need to have a full-time. You need to be at least 2nd year as a full-time student. You need to have your CPR level C, and you need to have your emergency first aid. And finally, just to get ready, you have to purchase the path manual. This just gives you an introduction of what CSEP's all about, and gives you a study tool to use throughout your studying to get ready for the test. Step 2 is about applying. So this is where you submit and apply for your application to become certified with CSEP. I take kinesiology at school, so this is where I had like a leg up and a little advantage over the rest of the pack to people trying to become certified. This is because my school offers a course that's designed specifically for CSEP. So we go over all the testing protocols and everything you need to do to get ready to become certified. So now we're on to step 3, and now this is preparing for the exam. Now, like I just said, my school had me prepared already, taking the course called fitness programming. There's 2 exams you have to pass in order to become certified. There's the practical exam, and then there's the theory exam. So at my course at school, we had a similar practical exam and a similar theory exam that were basically the same exams you had to take. So preparing for my exams at school had me ready for that exams a few months down the road when I actually became certified and took those tests. Step 4 is actually writing these exams. So for the practical exam, you'll be paired up with someone else who's also taking the test, and you'll be taking turns being a pretend client in a random case study like you would with a real client. So for this, you'd be doing a aerobic fitness assessment where you do one of the protocols, kind of run them through it. Then you'd also do a few musculoskeletal tests. I want to point out here that you want to make sure you have your behavior modifications really set down and really have them in your head of what they're all about. You'll have your study notes to be able to prepare for this. And then the next test you'll have is your theory exam. This is just a multiple choice test where you have to get a 70% or higher to be considered to pass the exam. I took the test during COVID-19 online. You're just proctored. Someone's watching the whole time on a camera. Wasn't too hard. Use some Quizlets. Make sure you know your stuff and study. But if you truly do know your stuff, then it won't be hard at all and you'll be good to go. And then finally, step 5 is all about registering. Once you finally pass both your exams, you have your CPR, academic credits, and you also have your emergency first aid, then you can register to actually get the certification. Once you submit your application to them, it took me around 3 weeks to get it back to myself. They'll mail it to you, a little confirmation, then you'll be good to go certified with CSEP. Now, I want to take a second to talk about the scope of practice you have, because CSEP offers two different things. They offer CPTs, which is certified personal trainers, and they also offer CEPs, which is much harder to get. And a CEP is a clinical exercise physiologist. So this lets you, as a CEP, you can work with a broad range of all populations and clients. Where with just the CPT, there's a few barriers you have to look out for some populations that you can't work with. You can't assign max aerobic or anaerobic work. You're not allowed to use an ECG, and you can't work with people with more than one medical condition. But with the CEP, you can open that up and work with a broad range of people. Now, I do understand there is so much I can talk about when it comes to the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology. So if there's something I didn't touch on that you wanted to have answered, just leave it in the comment down below, and I'll make sure to answer all the questions you may have about CSEP. And if you have any future video ideas, also leave them down below, and I'll be sure to answer them in any future videos. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. Every like equals a push-up, every comment equals a pull-up, and subscribe so you don't miss any other content. I'll see you guys later. This has been Russell Muscle, and peace!